Let's get the hot take out of the way. I'm of the opinion that the DuckTales 2016 reboot is significantly better than the original. That being said, I'll always have a soft spot for the original since I own the DVDs and I grew up watching them. I also have the Tailspin DVDs in case you're curious. Both incarnations of DuckTales have their own identity and there's something to enjoy in both. However, there's no denying that the OG is more iconic. When I say DuckTales, you picture this, or this, or this. Which is why, when I approached the challenge of building Scrooge McDuck's money bin in LEGO, I went with their design as reference material. First, we need to build the richest duck in the world. LEGO has made Scrooge and the triplets in the CMF line, so I just used them. Next, I started working on the bin by creating a frame out of white bricks to figure out how big this giant was gonna be. Thankfully, my local pawn shop keeps a bin of used LEGO that you can dig through, and they sell them for dirt cheap. After giving the bricks a quick bath, they're perfect for what I need. By the way, Peter's Pieces has a great video on how to clean your bricks if you want to check that out in the iCard above. And yeah, I went to the shop at least 3 times over the course of this month just to get enough LEGO for the project. I even drove several hours to Atlanta to get even more, and stopped by the LEGO store to empty my wallet. Here's a picture of the haul. The exterior definitely took the longest time, and for that reason I won't really be able to give you a too in-depth look at the process. We'll just fast forward past building the white corpse. After I finished, I felt like it was missing some extra color. As a response, I built a bunch of these little terrain segments out of lime green plates. Then I placed Technic pins on the back so I could easily connect them to the bin itself. I repeated this process several times, and after was a lot happier with the progress. Polly the chicken is helping me build a simple but effective tree design. This time it's legally, woohoo! The trunk is built out of various Technic pieces with 1x1 bricks with 4 extra studs to fit the branches in. To decorate the branches, I grabbed some flower studs in green and tons of green leaf pieces to decorate the trunk of the tree. One quick time jump later, we have a cute little tree that would make DeVito proud. Those look great, but we need some extra foliage. At the LEGO store, I grabbed a crap ton of green studs, and I can use those along with plant stems to make some bushes to scatter around the exterior of the mock. After putting all of that together, I was finally satisfied with the exterior. Okay, with the exterior looking amazing, we need to work on the interior. I started with a dark gray base and began mapping out where the main bank area would be and sectioning out an area for Scrooge's office. While my space for the interior is limited, I knew I had to include his office. When working on the bank portion, I placed some exposed studs to place some gold and treasures later in the building process, and then I tiled off the rest of the area. Next, let's start building up the walls of the bank to hold all the gold. We really don't want it to spill out, because I spent $20 on 500 gold studs. Turning it around, we need to add some columns for support, and let's give this build some cute little rats. I'm not going to think about how questionable it is that we have sentient ducks in this universe as well as non-sentient rats. Next, let's place an assortment of treasures in the bin along with stacks of gold bars and $100 bills. Dang, LEGO inflation is crazy. During the process, I created a delightful recipe for the 1%. First, grab a cup and a half of gold studs and add treasure to flavor. Take your trusty Scottish millionaire and mix it to your liking. Finally, let's pour the mixture into the bin and let it sit for a few hours. Whipping around once more, we need to tile Scrooge's office and leave some exposed studs for furniture, which is what we'll build next. First, I built a lovely stone fireplace with gold trimmings and a clock to top it off. Next, we need a wooden desk for Scrooge to sit, and I'll place a lamp and assorted papers for detail. Finally, we'll add a simple blue filing cabinet with a mug and an open drawer. Taking all of these builds, let's finish up the interior. I also added a globe, some gold, and a set of stairs to lead up to the safe's entrance. And with that, the interior is done, and we can take a look at the final product. This mock is huge, and it is definitely my biggest build yet, and it looks fantastic. It's also very heavy, which did not do wonders for my self-esteem. I was close to being out of breath after lugging this thing around. Let's start with looking at the roof. I built a red circular dome, and to top that off, built a little cash symbol out of yellow bricks. The dome, as you can see, is hollow with some plates to create some form of infrastructure. though I quickly ran out of red bricks, so it isn't as sturdy as I would want it to be. If we move a little lower, you can see some simple windows that I've placed around the top layer. I used black bricks to block the view though, since there's not anything back there. Slight tangent, but in the reference material you can see huge windows inside of Scrooge's office, but I have no idea where those windows actually are because the exterior shot only shows these small basement style windows. Make it make sense, Disney, please. I need my kids shows to be architecturally sound so I can build Make it make sense, Disney, please. I need my kids shows to be architecturally sound so I can build accurate replicas. Okay, moving on. In order to add some extra texture, I used the best Lego element ever, the modified 1x2x1 and 2/3 with studs on one side. Wow, that's a mouthful. Let's just call it the brickhead piece, because that's what it's from. And place tiles and plates on them to create some indentions to represent the wear and tear of age. I think this adds a lot to an otherwise bland white corpse of a building that it could have been. I love how the huge money sign turned out. I almost ran out of pieces, but thankfully Atlanta Brick Co. had some yellow tiles and plates. It looks very grandiose and intimidating. It very much screams the 1%. Man, frick the 1%. All my homies hate the 1%. Anyway, my favorite part is going to be the greenery, probably. I added some around the base. It's a technique I haven't used before, and the Technic pins made everything so much easier. I decided not to put terrain around the entire base. You can see a few parts showed the bare white walls, and I think this adds an extra layer of detail. The interior came out great too. It can be taken out pretty easily since there's no connections holding that portion together, though there's not much to say about this segment since y'all saw me build it earlier in the video. The office looks really nice, though a little crowded, but it fits so much detail that I don't mind. One fun note is I've had this lamp built for close to 3 years now for a previous mock. Overall, this is one of my favorite mocks I've ever built. There were so many times where I wanted to quit and do something else because I kid you not, this took a full month to build. It felt like a huge accomplishment when I finally finished it, and now I get to share it with you guys. If you've never seen DuckTales, you should definitely give it a try. I'd recommend the reboot since it's more modern and has my king, Darkwing Duck, who I want to build in Lego eventually, and it's all around a fun watch. That's all I got for y'all. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!